The government is readying itself for what will be the biggest privatisation since Telstra.
Those who register for a Medibank Private prospectus before tomorrow night will receive preferential allocation of shares, but many existing members are angry because they're not being allocated free shares.
Holidays make for better health.
Medibank Private members expected to be handed free shares in the company's stock market listing.
We assumed that we were members of an association that we would, own.
But Michael Forrest, a member of 30 years, assumed wrong.
I do feel ripped off. I think that the government's taking us for a ride.
Members of rival NIB received free shares when it listed in 2007, but it was a mutual organisation owned by members. The government says it owns Medibank Private and in a statement said policyholders purchased health cover, not a share in the company. Medibank members will be offered an extra allocation of shares. Some say a discount should be granted at the very least.
Management inside Medibank Private in recent times, a decade ago, were telling people that they were building equity in the organisation, that anyone could reasonably assume what they meant was that someday they would be rewarded for loyalty.
Analysts say that may still change.
All that's on the table, all that's negotiable because the final pricing mechanism hasn't hit the market yet.
The initial public offer could be worth between $4 to $6 billion.
A successful float of Medibank Private will be crucial to the government's plans to sell other publicly owned assets.
It is the first major privatisation in what I would see is going to be a cycle of privatisations. If you get the first one right, obviously people have confidence in the rest.
Some believe shares will be priced well as a result, but that doesn't guarantee financial success.
Qantas, for instance, was a government float and it didn't work. Neither did the later stages of Telstra at the time.
Medibank is Australia's largest private health operator, commanding a 29% share of the market, operating in a regulated industry.
And it's underpinned by healthcare spending in Australia, which will continue to rise as the population ages.
But there are risks.
Growth is perhaps limited. Insurance businesses are in the business of pricing risk.
A prospectus is due within weeks, with a listing expected before Christmas. Ricardo Goncalves, SBS World News.